Good evening, and welcome to the December 8th, 2015 Town Board meeting for the Town of Ossining. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Harder,
Present.
Councilman Wilshire,
Present.
and Supervisor Donlin.
Present.
Do we have any announcements?
We do. We do have a couple of things that we want to talk about this evening. If anyone looks at the agenda, anyone that's here or at home, they notice that the laws and the comprehensive plan and all of the laws, so we can keep them in numerical order, are not on the agenda this evening. This is because we will be having a special meeting next Tuesday to work on all, to pass all our laws and to accept the comprehensive plan, vision plan, and any other things that we have to do. We felt it was important that we had the information out on the web for a week or more if we could. So we put it out there, and we will be having a special meeting. There was no reason to put them back on the agenda just to table them again. They're just tabled until next Tuesday. And we will be meeting next Tuesday at 16 Croton Avenue in the boardroom. It will be a work session, but we will start with a special meeting, and we will really do some end of year, but some significant changes to our zoning laws, and we're very, very proud of the last 2 years that we've been working on this. This was not something that was done without a lot of research, without a lot of participation from our residents and commercial property owners. It was something that was well thought out, lots of meetings, lots of volunteers, as I said before, and we're very proud of the end product as to what we have. A lot of input from our EAC, from some members of our planning board and zoning board, so we're very proud of them. The date of that meeting next
16.
is the 16th, thank you. 16th? 15th. 15th, sorry.
You're correct.
It's January, I'm looking at a January calendar, that's why, it's it's December 15th, 2015, so it will be 12/15/15. It will be at 7:30. It will be at 16 Croton Avenue in the boardroom, just where we always have our work sessions. And we will also have some other good information that night. Are you doing your presentation, Madam Clerk?
I certainly can, yes.
Yes. So since the clerk will be with us anyway, since when we do a lot of laws, the clerk's always with us, you can do your presentation for your clerk department. And we have some other interesting things that we'll be talking about that evening. So please join us. That particular meeting, when we do our work session, they are not live like tonight is, but we do get it up on YouTube by the next day. And then it's on TV by 2 days later, so it's not bad at all. Just like to tonight, we are tonight at our different resolutions. We are, of course, approving our minutes from our regular meeting, our voucher detail report, which is $662,000. Now, Maddie, do you want to tell us a couple of items that, or you're not prepared to, that brought it that high? It's always a payment to the village for our various IMAs and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, so we have the monthly IMA payment to the Village of Ossining, which is $292,000 and change. But also twice a year, we reimburse our retirees for their Medicare Part B premium. There are probably about 40 or so of those folks that we reimburse twice a year. So this was the voucher run that we're taking care of the second half. And then I believe we also made our last payment to OVAC, so the last of 6 payments for the year. So that's about $100,000 as well.
Good. OVAC being our ambulance service supplier. They don't like when I call it a vendor, so I was trying to think of, but yeah. But it's we're very proud of that. We do. We are going to be signing a new contract with them to extend their contract onward as the service provider or the Mid-Hudson Ambulance District, which you all participate in if you live in the Village of Ossining or the unincorporated area of the town of Ossining, and plus some small sections of Newcastle. Okay, so again, on our agenda for this evening, we had a personnel resignation. Bess left us in the supervisor's office to find a job closer to home. They moved across the river, so he'll be working over there where he has very small children, so it will be much better for him over there. We are also doing the personnel, the health benefits for elected officials and appointed officials. Do you want to go over that a little bit?
So we've discussed this at least one work session within the past couple of weeks, but it's been discussed on and off for a few years. The board, I believe in 2012, actually passed something that we were calling the Non-Union Employee Handbook, which spoke to practices for current employees in terms of health, dental, vision, life insurance, but it was silent as to what would happen after one of those folks retired or ceased in their position to the town. So we have the resolution in the agenda this evening, along with both of the appendices that talk about which employees this covers and then what the terms of that agreement are going to be for not just their current health, dental, vision, et cetera, but also after they retire into the New York State retirement system, and also when they are eligible to take those benefits with them.
Okay. Good. And the last item on our agenda this evening will be the approval of the 2016 budget. We not only had a public hearing on it, we had a town hall meeting on it, and we've done a lot of explanations. We have a very detailed budget message. It's on the webpage, so we encourage everyone to look at it. We did more detailed discussion of it on another supervisor's update. We consider ourselves extremely transparent, and we know that that will continue on into the future. So I'm just going to read a couple of things to remind people on this particular budget. That we are putting 35%, 35, not any more than that, not any less than that, and it's only 4 people without any fringe benefits for the budget director, the town attorney, the deputy town attorney, and the confidential secretary. These employees provide direct services to the unincorporated area, as do our elected officials. However, by law, elected officials must stay in the town general line. For more details, feel free to go into Supervisor's Update, as I said before. We have one report that tells you almost detailed things. This comes out to about $66,000. This is the first time that we've ever moved it for the administration costs into the unincorporated budget. And just like any other municipality or group, you have to pay for your administration costs. So I would say that the majority of the folks out there understand that. We have gotten a lot of compliment calls. We've gotten a lot of compliment emails, so we're very happy with that. Another thing we did this year, and it shows on this budget, is we took Dale Cemetery in-house during 2015, allowing us to eliminate a significant backlog in the office while the property has never looked better, and all that at a fraction of the cost of what we paid in the past. While it was running self-sufficiently for a few years, it was due to a large influx of cash from a bulk sale. This money has already been spent, leaving the town taxpayers responsible for interments on these sole plots for many years to come. We expect progress to continue and looking for many improvements on the property. I think the team out there right now is doing great. The employees, the 2 employees out there are Teamsters. We negotiated a great contract with the Teamsters so that everyone's union. And the superintendent is a part-time retired gentleman who is doing a phenomenal job. We did research a lot of outsourcing of the different functions, and we came up with that it was important that we do it this way. And there's other different items in the budget, such as, and as we all know, Maddie read the budget. Maddie read the budget message at the town hall meeting, which was in November. And we don't have to go into all these different things. Again, it's on the web page, and it tells you in detail as to some of the things that we did. One of the other things we did is we had the we were able to buy a 10-wheel truck from the federal government surplus, which we're in the process of modifying and making it roadworthy in early 2016. All the bids are out, are back, and we have, for a total of $36,000, we'll have a truck that's worth about $150,000. We're very proud of that we got that done, and it will also make a great snowplow, hopefully not in 2015. As everyone knows, January, February, March were extremely devastating for every municipality in this area and beyond. And we spent a tremendous amount on overtime, and we had 26 snowstorms between January and March. So everyone was very over budget in their salt and their overtime lines. So while you might want it to get cold for the holidays, we have no problem with it staying at just about 55 degrees all the time. And as far as I can see, it's going right out for another 7 to 10 days, so we're okay with that. If you're driving around town, you do see some LED lighting. It has, remember, this is both a village and unincorporated project. And what we do tell you is do not look up into the light fixtures, but it is a clean white light. And I will say that if you have a problem where you think it's beating too much on your house or anything, that if you notify the DPW, they will put it on the list to be tweaked. Mine on my block, as I've said, is made all the difference in the world. We had this small little yellow light, and it didn't even light up, like even by the time it hit the ground, it was gone. And now we have a nice white light going there. So it will save us. A lot of money in our electrical costs. We also did the town highway department and the town highway administration building, and we will see a savings of over 50% in our electric costs over in those buildings too. As everyone knows, in 2015 we started a 4-year police contract with the Village of Ossining, and as we enter into the second year of the contract, if you want to see the numbers, it's on the webpage. And what happened is the price of the contract took a dip, and then it will go back up in 2017. So we thought it was very advantageous for us to put the money away for the cost difference between the 2016 and 2017 budget, because a very small amount of money, about $26,000, what's a point? Yeah. 50,000 in the unincorporated is a tax point, and so this would be 2.5% right there. That would be. So we've put away the money after it dipped, and so they'll be ready in 2017. We put away $124,000. So when it takes its significant jump, you can do it. We also are seeing major increases in our workman's comp premium. And next year, we should see a significant increase due to it trails off the 3 years of workman's comp cases. So we see a significant increase coming in 2017. So we've put money away for the next board to be able to see the difference without having a high price increase. All the money has been put away for our last callable bond on the police station, which can be paid off in 2017, and we have a fantastic finance team that will take care of that for everybody. So we're very pleased with that, and I'm just very pleased with everything that this board, this administration, and all the departments have done in these very lean times as we all go into approximately our 4th or 5th year of a tax cap that is not a 2% tax cap. It's this particular time it was 0.73. The people that have spring budgets and the people that in the school budgets are going to be down in a 0.43. That's less than 0.5% increase that you're allowed to have. If anyone knows anything that all of these places are union contracts, that's not going to happen very easily. So we have to come up with very, very smart ways of doing our business. So I thank everyone that works very hard. I thank everyone that has taken on the chores of doing multitasking and jobs and cross-training their employees. That is my little talk for the night. Thank you. And so I think we'll start. Did you want to read that statement now, or do you want to read it when we get to the, Councilwoman Jeffrey cannot be here tonight, so why don't we do it now? Why don't we read her statement, and then, well, no, you know what, we'll wait till the budget, because then if anybody else has a statement, let's do it then when we get to that resolution, okay?
Is there anyone who has any public comments on any of the agenda items? Please state your name and your residential address, please.
I'm Adam Stollerow. Adam Stollerow. I'm an attorney with Cy Paget and Roselle, and we attended the work meeting last week.
I'm going to ask you, this is not an agenda item, right?
It's not an agenda.
No,
item.
there's a thing at the end, and this is going to be a very short meeting, so you'll be able to speak on that at the very end of the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Do you mind? Yeah, because this is only on agenda items, okay.
Not seeing anyone?
I was saying, whoa, he's read our agenda and has a comment. Okay.
Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby approves the November 24th, 2015 minutes of the regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated December 8th, 2015, the amount of $662,518.18. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved that the Town Board
I'm
of the
sorry.
Town-
Can I just ask a question about the
Oh,
voucher
it-
detail report? You have a different amount than I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually had to, we spoke about this just earlier. On this voucher run, we had all of our retirees that we reimbursed for Medicare Part B, and there was actually one gentleman who we missed, so we had to add him on. It's a difference of, I think, $629. Yeah.
Yeah. Good catch, though.
Aye.
Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby accepts with regret the resignation of confidential secretary to the supervisor, Bessem Hoxa, effective November 25th, 2015. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas the Town of Ossining has a long-standing practice of providing insurance benefits to elected officials and officers, employees appointed by the Town Board who are not otherwise covered by the terms of any collective bargaining agreement or employment agreement, and whereas it is unclear from town records presently available whether the board has ever formally ratified some of these long-standing practices, and whereas in an effort to update the town's policy regarding the provision of such benefits to more closely conform to the insurance benefit structure provided to the town's unionized workforce and to avoid any issues regarding the continued provisions of such insurance benefits to such elected officials and appointed officers, employees, the board has determined that it would be beneficial to formally memorialize and ratify the current conditions and eligibility requirements for such insurance coverage. Now therefore be it resolved that subject to the terms and conditions set forth in Appendix B, hereto the Town Board hereby approves the provision of insurance benefits to the full-time, part-time, and/or retired elected officials, officers, employees appointed by the Town Board that are listed on Appendix A, and authorizes the necessary payment. And I will read Appendix A. Town clerk, tax receiver, highway superintendent, town supervisor, town board members, assessor, budget officer, town justice, confidential secretary to the town supervisor, town attorney, deputy town attorney, nutrition site manager, and building inspector. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jeff.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
If you want to see the whole policy, it is available on the agenda here, and it's also available on the webpage, and it will be available in the clerk's office.
Approval of the 2016 budget. Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby approves the the 2016 budget for the town of Ossining. Total appropriations for the 2016 entire town 10 fund are $5,265,044. Total appropriations for the unincorporated 20 area fund are $3,689,380. And total appropriations for the Highway 31 fund are $2,361,774. Total appropriations for the Water and Sewer fund are $539,134. Total appropriations for the Fire, Light, Refuge funds are $1,311,129. Total appropriations for the Ambulance District are $628,651. Can
So-
I have a motion first?
Yeah, we'll have a motion first, and then we'll make statements on it.
So moved.
Second.
Patty?
She's going to read Councilwoman Jeffrey, who is not feeling well tonight.
Okay, she asked me to read this off of my phone, so I apologize if I'm very squinty. I apologize for being unable to attend tonight's meeting. I'm very much under the weather. Although I have been informed that I am unable to vote without being present, I believe that it is important for me to express my thoughts on the 2016 budget. If I was able to attend the meeting tonight, I would vote no on the 2016 budget. As I have stated in the past at meetings, while I understand people worked very hard on the budget, I do not believe it is fair and equitable in its entirety. And because of the presence of certain items I do not believe are fair and equitable to the unincorporated town and its residents, I cannot support it. For example, the 35% transfer from the general fund to the unincorporated town fund for the 4 employees is not, in my opinion, fair, but instead arbitrary and capricious. I have stated before that this is not an appropriate expense for the unincorporated town to carry, and I will state again that the unincorporated town residents have, in many instances, historically and continually, subsidized other budgets, while at the same time and in other instances are not made whole with their share of revenue that should be, but is not allocated to the unincorporated town. I also believe this 35% figure creates a slippery slope of trying to figure out how much actual time, what percentage of time, and how often all town employees work, either on town general or unincorporated town matters. At the end of the day, all town employees work for the entirety of the town, whether or not they are working on portions of the unincorporated town. Therefore, I believe it should remain in the general fund and not be allocated by some arbitrary figure and carried by the unincorporated town. This, to me, is unfair to the residents of the unincorporated town, who for too long have been victimized by these types of allocations. Also, as I stated last year and will state again, diminishing and fluctuating the salaries of employees is bad practice and poor policy. Last year it was the salaries of 2 elected officials, and this year the salaries of the deputy town attorney and the town attorney have been reduced, when those who voted for the budget last year had just increased these salaries. I do not see these actions as being well thought out or reasonable. If the totality of the changes that I have discussed in this statement and in more depth at meetings are due to an inability to otherwise balance the general fund budget under the tax cap, then I would suggest and state that other resources and problem-solving methods should have been implemented, such as, and only as one example, reinstating the court attendance as the security for the courts under whatever legal title the town could utilize. I cannot support the 2016 budget as it is presently constituted and would therefore vote no. I look forward to working with the new board in 2016 to revise some of these unjust issues should the current board pass this budget. Respectfully, Kim Jeffrey, Town Council Member and resident.
Okay. Well, first, I want, let me first address what I just heard, and I'd like to respond to Councilwoman Jeffrey's comment. She's certainly entitled to her opinion. I'm sorry she was not here. Can you hear me, Tom? Okay. So I'm sorry she's not feeling well and unable to make her presentation in person. The last time we did meet, she did raise some concerns about the budget, and we had some dialogue. And I just wanted to reiterate, because she sort of reiterated in her comments here tonight, some of the things she said the other night. She says tonight that the moving of 35% of salaries over to the unincorporated town portion of the budget is arbitrary and capricious. And, she and I had a dialogue, and we've had some follow-up emails, and the discussion that we had was, does she acknowledge that, in fact, there is work performed by these 4 individuals that is exclusively for the benefit of the town outside? And she acknowledged, yes, in fact, there were. So this is not new. I'm sorry she's not here to respond, because I bet she would like to. In my opinion, because she said her opinion was that it should be a 0% payment for those town employees, and I think that is arbitrary and capricious. And I think we've got the opinion of the budget director, we got the opinion of the town supervisor, of the comptroller, and his staff, all agreeing to the 35% number. I've heard an explanation as to the basis for that number, and it seems more than reasonable and far from arbitrary and capricious. So my response to Councilwoman Jeffrey is that, in fact, her suggestion of a 0% payment for actual services performed on behalf of the town outside is, in and of itself, arbitrary and capricious. So I don't agree with her on that. For my own sake, I'd like to just again commend the entire board on the I think the exemplary budget that we've put out year after year after year, and this one is no exception. Thank you, Budget Director Maddie Sachaz, for your hard work, Madam Supervisor, the entire board, and for all the staff and employees who have had a hand in tightening their own budgets. The department heads. This is a difficult process that starts months in advance. There are complex calculations and number crunching, and this is a phenomenal budget under the tax cap, consistently with prior years. And I'm very, very proud to vote yes for this budget. Thank you.
I think I will. I just want to say that I know the hard work that goes into a budget. I don't like to, like tonight, not a night to debate budget. And I have said this over and over again. That's why we have works, so that we can debate it there, and when we get here, do what we come here to do. And if we sit here just so that we can look good on camera, and that's what a whole lot of it is about. It's not about actually what's happening. It's about being seen. And I think that's awful, because when we have our work session, if things go your way, fine. And if it doesn't, that's fine. It's done. We should not have to do this thing every time we turn around. We argue about the same point over and over. And and another thing, I just want to say, I think everybody did a great job get this budget together, and I'm all for it. Thank you.
Well, I too will congratulate the supervisor and Maddie, budget officer. This is an incredibly tight budget and a good budget. It's one of the best I've seen, and I want to thank council members for all of the work they've done, along with council and supervisor. This is a good job, great job. I'm proud to put my name on this.
I just want to clarify one point that was brought up. This is not a way of balancing the general fund budget. We have, over the last 4 years and beyond that even, worked on ways of making sure that all revenues, and I will say one thing, that all revenues are in the right fund and all expenses, slowly but surely you move everything around. What I found was interesting, I was having a conversation about it with some other supervisors, and they said everybody has the issue of what's the right amount to put into it, what should you charge off to to this fund and this fund, and to come up with a number that is appropriate for the actual duties that are done for that fund. One of the comments that we make in one of the supervisors' newsletters is that every municipality moves money around to different funds as the people work in those funds. They just don't talk about it. We think that we're very transparent, and we do. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that it's not about balancing one budget against another budget, but rather about constantly working towards having the right funds in the right, not only funds, but because a fund is like a budget, but in the right departments too. So I want to thank everybody that worked very hard on this budget, and I want to thank them. I want to thank all of the work that was done to make sure, because a budget is not about the next year. It's about 2 and 3 and 4 years out. And with this tight tax cap that we have, it isn't the tax cap that is bringing us down a lot of times. It's the unfunded mandates. I am not a believer that I don't necessarily want to see us have the unfunded mandates outside of the tax cap. I would like to have every unfunded mandate that there is researched and found out why we even do it from the state and the county. As far as personnel issues are concerned, we never discuss them in open session. We take our every employee's very seriously as to the job function that they do. So unlike that's all we're going to say about the personnel things. So I think we're done now. Madam Clerk.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Correspondence to be received and filed. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby accepts the following monthly reports for the month of November 2015. Town Clerk's Office, Town Supervisor's Office, Town Building Department, GE Helicopter Report, and the Town Tax Receiver's Office. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
If I can, you all received this evening the Dale Cemetery report. Would we be able to
Yeah.
add that on as well?
Yes. Let's amend that.
Eric, you made the motion. Who was the second?
Want to?
Where's Dale?
It should have been in your packet. They just.
Cemetery report.
Oh. Yeah. It's. So do we have a motion to accept the correspondence filed and received?
I
As
reiterate
amended?
my motion as amended.
Have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We now have visitor recognition. Is there anyone who's come to address the board?
Not sure the microphone is working, so I'll speak up. Even closer. Okay. So,
You have to run out the library. Then you have to get real close.
okay. Good evening, Supervisor Donnelly and members of the town board. My name is Adam Stollerow. I'm an attorney with Cy, Paget, and Rizal. I attended last week's working meeting at which there was a presentation by an attorney for the Sunshine Children's Home. Sunshine is seeking to expand its facilities in the town of Newcastle and seeking an approval from this town board for an upgrade to its sewer connection. Following the meeting last week, we didn't have an opportunity to comment at the meeting, but following the meeting, we submitted a letter to the town board raising a number of environmental impacts that are associated with Sunshine's expansion. And we indicated in that letter that we would be here tonight to answer any questions that the board may have on our submission. So if you do have any questions, I'm here to answer them. I won't repeat the comments that we made in our letter, which were quite extensive. And if also I wanted to say if anyone wants a written copy of the materials that we submitted, that we can provide you with that. And our overall request in that letter was that this town board be actively involved in the environmental review process under SECRA, for which the Newcastle Zoning Board of Appeals is the lead agency, and that if you do find that there are environmental concerns that are of interest to the town, that you get your comments in to the Newcastle ZBA as early as possible.
I just want to point out that we have met with Newcastle, and so those conversations are going on right now. Okay. It's a 3-part email. If you want to, we could ask. Could you come back next Tuesday to our work session too, when we're passing all our environmental laws? Or
Certainly.
okay, and then they'll give them time because it was let's be serious. It was 3-part email. So you had part, then you had 2 of 3, and you had 3 of 3. It was an enormous email. Yeah.
We've submitted quite a number of letters and legal memoranda to the Newcastle
Right.
ZBA, so we wanted to give you a chance to
Yep.
go over those.
So why don't we do that? Why don't we give us a little bit more time? Because again, we got it at the end of the week, and we will. Okay, so we'll give it a little bit more time. But just so you do know that we have been in meetings with Newcastle, and we are an involved agency. So
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board? Not seeing anyone. Might I have a motion to adjourn for executive session for the matter of legal advice?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I just want to take a moment, and I know I've said this over the last few meetings. I want to take a moment to thank all the folks out there that have stopped by, emailed, called about this administration and board, and their thoughts and over the last 4 years. And lots of times we've had some great conversations. We've had a lot of laughs. We have a very open door policy to the point of sometimes you don't get your work done in the office, but we welcome everyone to come there. Sometimes we agree to disagree on issues, but we move on from that. And I want to thank everyone that has come and spoken to us and told her, and I just want to tell this board and this administration that the appreciation is out there, and the people thank us for the work that we've done. And it's always nice to hear that once in a while. So while you don't do it for that reason, you do it to make the community better and stronger, we do thank you for that. So with that, we'll move on, and let's remember, we want to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah. And this year I'm wishing everyone a happy Hanukkah, because as far as I'm concerned, we need all the peace and joy and tranquility we can possibly get together in this world. And so we should all be celebrating all the holidays together and move on. So happy Hanukkah. We lit the menorah down at Market Square tonight. It was very moving, a lovely very short service, but a lovely service, and so I encourage you to go and look at that. We had the tree lighting last weekend, and there'll be all sorts of festivities happening, and I think this is the year that I think I'm going to spend my time. I wrote this on Facebook. It's a random act of kindness, at least one a day, and I think that if we all do that, that we will outsmart the people that think they're outsmarting us. So I think it's really important that we all work together, not to not be vigilant, watch everything, know what's going on around you, but enjoy the people around you, make new friends, say hello to people that you don't necessarily know, and let's all work together to make not only this community, this state, this world, a better place for everyone. So happy Hanukkah, and after Hanukkah, we'll start saying Merry Christmas. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful week.